It's time for Ask the Vet, and we have our good friend back, veterinarian Dr. Courtney Campbell. Welcome back, sir. Our question comes from one of our very own producers, Keegan, who's actually in our production area.
Hi. There's Keegan.
Hey, Keegan. So what's going on?
So, Dr. Courtney, I came over from the office just to be here, to be a part of the show, because I have a very, very cute dog that loves me very much. He just doesn't like other people. So he gets really anxious, especially he's very protective of his home. So if I have guests over, he gets very anxious, he hides. He kind of gets in an attack mode and will growl and even kind of snip at people. Dr. Berman has been...
anxious is an understatement.
We actually have a little footage here, and your dog's name is Cash.
Cash.
Okay. Let's look at some of this anxious footage.
That's what he does, and he barks loud.
So you experienced this firsthand?
But look how sad and scared he looked. But he does that, and the room was filled with people, and he came at me, I thought, why me? There was so many other people, and I felt I must look like weak, and I'm like I'm the one that can get eaten.
Right,
like, why did he want me?
The weakest one of the group. He's got to take him out.
Likes dogs.
Keegan
it's
asked
not
a really
people that
important
are scared. Yeah. It's people that like dogs.
Keegan, Cash is so beautiful, and the last thing you want to do is have Keegan worrying that Cash, obviously sitting around anxious all the time, but may attack someone in the anxious state.
I think all of us can relate to walking into a room and feeling some degree of social anxiety. We all feel it, but obviously we're not going to bite somebody. With Cash's situation, he's saying to himself, I'm really scared, I'm really anxious, and the only way I know how to do it is to put up a good offense, is the best defense. So what we have to do is just basically let Cash know that having people over or having a lot of people in the room is not time to be anxious. And so we start out with one person, and we look for triggers. If one person in the house, the hair comes up, we see that the hair comes up, he gets anxious, then we know, okay, that's a trigger.
His voice, he's
basically trying to show you that I'm the baddest man in the room, and he's really not. He's just scared.
So how does Keegan address this then?
Couple of things. The three-prong approach I would do is look for triggers. So we start out with just one person in the room. Have that person, don't run up to Cash, don't be in Cash's face. Allow Cash to kind of adjust and see how things are going to play out in the room. And eventually, if Cash feels comfortable, he'll come up. He gets treats when strangers come over. That way he knows good things happen with strange people. Second thing I would do is when a stranger comes over, I would have a little bit of a halty or a head halter on him.
Muzzle, you're saying?
Either basket muzzle could be an option too, and that allows you a little bit more control.
Dr. Courtney, can I ask, is it good for me to have a leash on him where I'm restraining him? Because I do worry that he'll kind of lunge at somebody, but I also don't want him to feel like, you can't be near that person. So I kind of...
Yeah, I think your point is very well taken. So when I mention a head halter or a halter, that has a leash attached. Okay. And so you'll have some control. And then, we did have a question about something called a thunder shirt. And how many of us, during times of anxiety, like a hug? How many people like to be hugged? A lot of people like to be hugged. And so there are some people who feel like, okay, and people are familiar with Temple Grandin's work about being squeezed and that sort of sensation, feeling more secure. A thunder shirt could be an effective option.
So it hugs the dog.
It essentially gives them a constant embrace.
So Keegan, just being open and honest here, you have a lot of anxiety about this as well.
Yeah, I want to be able to have people at my house, and I want Cash to feel safe, and same with my guests. So it's kind of a stressful situation for me because
she's anxious. The dog's probably anxious, and it just feeds on each other.
And here's the best way to lower both of your anxiety levels. Just start out with a lot more commands. There's no free lunch. So for Cash, if he has to sit, he has to. If you ask him to sit, he sits, he gets a treat. He stays, he gets a treat. And what that does is it bonds you two and it fosters that relationship. That way, in a stressful situation, you two are so tightly bonded that Cash will only pay attention to you and will not lunge, will not bark. And we're moving away from a dominance type scenario and alpha, but it's about basically bonding between you two and having that command structure so that regardless of the scenario, you and him are together.